right, guys, welcome to the Buff Show. Today we have what are we calling this?
The state of the market?
State of the market.
Wasatch Back edition.
Yeah. So this is good. We've compiled a bunch of data and we're going back a little bit of ways so you guys can see what's been going on for the Wasatch Back from like 2019 to now. And hopefully this helps give you that crystal ball moving forward. Ben's got it. He's got a crystal ball.
Well, my crystal ball's been dropped and foggy and everything else. So bear with me. So with Morgan's interesting because we have a really small slice of the pie, right? So different sales affect our numbers more drastically than other places. But starting with homes in Morgan, if you just look at townhomes, we've progressively sold more townhomes in Morgan because we've been building more since 2019. We've grown in sales. One thing to know is the prices have gone from 2022 at 400K to 500K in 23 to 500K in 24, back to 455K in 25. Now everybody's like, man, I'm going to sell my townhome for $450,000 now. That's not the case. On average in Morgan, a townhome sells for around $400,000. Now there's one development down. What's that subdivision? In Rome. In Rome.
Yep.
They have some townhomes that sell for exponentially more, around $650 to $700, because they can be nightly rented. So that's kind of skewing our numbers, and it lands us at 2025 of an average townhome selling for $450,000. When in reality we have two demographics, $650 to $700, and like that $410 to $380. So your average townhome in Morgan is around $400,000 on the sale. One thing to note is even though we've gotten healthier and healthier every year on the price, our days on market have just slowly creeped up year over year. So sellers are being a little more patient, buyers are being a little more picky. So that's, with the interest rates, pretty common.
But I will say
it's still low, really,
30,
for townhomes.
39 days on market. Like the entire state right now, we're sitting at like 72.
Well, and here's one thing to think about too is I have the fourth quarter for Morgan as well. And 39, that's not just townhomes, that's our average days on market for any home in Morgan. Now, that's 2025 from January to December, right? So you have some really hot seasons in there, and then you have your slow seasons. So, for example, our fourth quarter, so your September, October, or November, December, what's our fourth quarter? The last 3 months of the year.
October, November, December.
My brain's not working good enough to give you those. So the last 3 months of the year, the average days on market was 72, where the overall year was 39. So you have to really think, like, we have some slow times and we have some fast times, your spring rushes to your Christmas dead times. So keep that in mind as well. On our houses, so we peaked in price around 2022, and then we dropped just slightly in 2023 to 725 from 729. And then from 2023, we've done nothing but climb back out from that. So 24, we're at 772. 25, we're 795,000 on the median sales price. Now,
which is crazy. So you're at an all-time high.
All-time high in 2025.
All-time high in 2025. A lot of people think
2022 it seemed crazy. Yeah. But we're significantly higher. I mean, we're another almost $50,000, $60,000 higher than we were during the crazy times.
Yeah, you're pushing 800. You're gonna be in 800,000 this next year, I bet.
One thing that really did surprise me is the amount of homes selling in Morgan, right? Because there's always houses here and there popping up in Morgan, but from 2021 till now to 2025, we have sold more homes every year. From that time at 2025 being the highest, the lowest being 79 houses sold in 1 year, to 2025 122 houses,
which
is crazy. That seems like a lot to me.
That is a lot. Well, and it's crazy because you go back to 2021, there was 128 that sold in 2020. 128 homes sold. That was like the peak, and now you're 122.
Yep,
just right below it,
right below the peak, but the price is significantly higher. So in 2020, the median household price is $472,000, and we're selling just as many houses, a little bit slower, but for twice as much money.
Yeah.
So
everybody that's like, man, I wish
waiting for it to drop out, or I want prices to come down.
I want 2022 to come back so we could sell houses like we were back then. You're like, you really shouldn't be complaining.
Yeah,
if
we
you live
are.
in Morgan.
Yeah, we are. Morgan,
You're getting more money, and they might not be selling as fast, but you're still getting more out of them.
You're looking at 19 days on market during the old peak to our new peak in 2025 at 39 days on market.
Yeah, so 20 days.
20
more.
days different, but twice the money.
That's crazy.
What is interesting is how stable Morgan is. How it's just it has its little peaks, but it's on a constant climb always.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder when that point will be, when Morgan either caps or stops or it becomes too expensive. Because I think you'll see that at a certain point, Morgan will become too exclusive, and these sales are going to really plummet, and that price is going to hold, but the sales are going to drop.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems to be holding pretty strong so far. The only other thing I think worth mentioning here is about 75% of the homes listed, and that's townhomes, condos, single-family homes, sold in 2025. So there was one in every four homes didn't sell.
Yep.
Or that could be they pulled it off, relisted, and then sold. But so you got a 75% chance success rate on selling your first go around.
And I would give that 25% fill rate to poor pricing out the gate.
Yeah.
I think so. People are still trying to fish out there, which you don't blame a guy for trying, right?
Right.
But I think that's the main reason for a sale not happening is they've listed it. It's astronomically priced. They were just putting it out into the wind, and no one bid. So they probably either relisted or just went, well, we can't afford to sell right now. Land in Morgan, sucks because it hardly ever hits the market. Everybody wants it, and it's expensive. So just in a snapshot of 2025, we had 115 days on average in market. So when you listed, you were waiting 115 days before you went under contract. And out of the 15 lots that were listed in Morgan, the residential lots that were listed, only about 50% of them actually sold, of the ones that were listed. And they were all getting about $20,000 to $30,000 less than asking.
Yeah.
So they're asking a lot, but they are negotiating.
Yeah. So we have 36 listed, right, in 2025, and then 15 sold. So 50% success rate on lots, and the median sales price $357.
And with Morgan, you have to keep in mind probably 60% of the lots that you see being built on, people buying or are not even hitting the market.
Yeah,
they're sold before people are ready to even sell them.
Yeah,
there's people lined up.
That's true.
Talking to people, hey, when you're ready, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, there's been a few developments that haven't even hit the market.
Oh yeah, and a lot of times before they're even all the way through the city or the county, they have them pre-sold or reserved.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah, that's the hard thing with Morgan is there hasn't been a lot of new land opportunity. So it seems like all the lots that are listed they might not be A+ lots right now, right?
And the few that have been, there's some of them are hard, and I think these developers and people that have bought them are stuck.
Yeah. They
can't really get in it. They can't afford to build, or they don't want to build there anymore, but they can't really get out. So I think that's helping the days on market as well.
Yeah.
They've got to have X amount of dollars, but there's just not enough room in there for them.
So we've seen this past year in 2025, a quarter acre lot selling for around $265. That's probably about the cheapest you'll find. On up to, what did we have? Like a 20 acre lot
for $1 million something.
1.8 million, I want to say, for 20 acres. So it's pretty bizarre, everything that's going on in Morgan right now.
There is a big jump from third acre and up to, you're hitting that 350, kissing that almost 4 at that third acre in some places. But once you get that next size where you can get a nice size pole barn, big yard, plenty of room, you're jumping to that $500,000 and up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, people really want that extra space. And then you can have animals and outbuildings and swimming pools and all that people really seem to like. Anything else you want to cover on Morgan before we go on to the next?
Morgan is healthy, but I think the smartest thing in Morgan is you need to be realistic with your price, and same thing with anywhere in Utah. If you're going to list right now, you need to be realistic on price and time especially.
Yeah. So it's a very stable market. Prices, you can't complain about the prices.
No, that's the hard part is it's almost artificial in the sense of a brand new house and a house that's 60 years old are selling for the same price.
Right.
Because they just want to get to Morgan.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's wild. All right. We're going to now cover Ogden Valley. So Eden, Huntsville, Liberty. Yeah.
Excuse you.
Oh, sorry.
What's been going on, I guess, in Ogden Valley as of recently?
So yeah, we just incorporated, which makes us an official city in the state of Utah. We used to be just an unincorporated region of Weber County. So now we're our own city, new mayor, new council, and they are putting in the work to make sure that we're able to keep that status and whatnot. But
yeah, and
I think that may affect things a little bit.
For sure. That's a lot of work. So thanks to all those that have been participating in that. We had a lot of the candidates on the podcast, and it was a monumental, a huge feat that they're trying to accomplish there. Lots of work.
Absolutely.
So thank you. The roads are being plowed, even though there's no snow.
You sure?
Yeah.
There's no snow to plow, but
but
at least the contract's there.
Yeah, things are moving along. So I guess what did we see in Ogden Valley for 2025?
Yeah, so like single family homes, days on market were around 69 days. The number sold was 138, and that median price was at 1,111,000.
It's crazy that even though Morgan is its own county, the amount of volume that sells in Ogden Valley, there's just more existing homes.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to compare population and see, but there definitely are more homes, a lot more condos and townhomes in Ogden Valley as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with the condos, in 2025, there were 30 that were sold, that median price being $549, and then townhomes, there were 11 sold, and that median price being $869, which, interestingly, the condos price went up from 2024, and the townhome price went down.
Yeah. So did the single family houses. So
Yeah.
if we look at single family houses, like a median priced house back in 2019 in the Valley was $577. Then it jumped up to $649 in 2020, and then that was like the igniter of the whole Wasatch Back fire that just shot up home values, because then it jumped up to $840, and we saw that in Morgan as well.
Mm-hmm.
That 2020 change, that was the COVID and everybody worked from home and all that stuff. A 30% increase in values in that 1 year. So it jumped up to 840,000. Then in 2022, it jumped up again to 970,000, 15.48% increase. And then rates shot up and prices came down a little bit.
Only 2% though.
Yeah, it came down to 947, 2%. And then what happened in 2024? Shot up again to 1.14. And then in 2025, we came down just a little bit, 2.5% to 1.111.
That is crazy. It's from a money and an investing and it's just life in general. You're 30% appreciation, 15% appreciation the year after that, then a 2% decrease. And then a 20% again,
yeah.
and then a 2% decrease. So
Yeah.
the appreciation in the Valley is wild.
It's there for sure.
It is crazy.
And honestly, same kind of story. It's a little more volatile, but the overall trend matches with Morgan. Values have gone up and are staying up.
Except our sales. So if you look at our sales back in 2020, we sold 167 single family homes. And in 2025, it dropped down to 138 homes. So not a lot of
movement slowed a little.
The movement has slowed. And we were selling in 2020 and 2021, 75 to 100% of homes that went on the market were selling that go around.
Oh, isn't that wild?
Which
100% of homes that were listed were selling.
Yeah. Well, and it's actually in 2021, it says 100.37%, which means there were off-market homes that weren't even hitting the market that were selling before they were on the market. But almost any home that was listed was being sold. Average days on markets back then was 18 days on the market, and a lot of volume. I guess in 2021 there was 185 homes that sold. We're down to 138. So like 50 homes less selling right now. The reason for that, I believe, is there's a lot of second homes. Like there's a secondary market in Ogden Valley for the skiers, second homes, vacation rentals. And I think as the economy and things tighten up, those luxuries tend to go away, versus Morgan is mostly primary
home.
Yeah. And so you get a lot of people just moving there. That, like, the people that have to move will always keep the market going.
Yep.
People that where it's a luxury or we're going to buy an investment property, it's really only when times are really good that they're
buying,
that they're doing those things. So I think that's why we're seeing less transactions right now, but still, nonetheless, our values are incredible. 1.111.
They're holding steady.
I mean, we're in the low millions. If we look at just Q4, I have this printed out so that, and this is comparing the average. We were looking at the median, but the average home sold price in Q4 of 2025 was 1.234. So we're in the 1.2s on the average, and then for all of 2025, the median sales price was just over 1.1, which is
and that's including your townhomes and your condos
well
For the average.
on your median here.
no, on the median.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
On the median, no, but on my average, it was actually my average was just the single family houses as well.
Okay.
So pretty crazy story for the Wasatch Back. It's been quite a bit different than the rest of the state and the Wasatch Front. The Wasatch Front's doing great. Things are going strong, but like our days on market for the entire state, 72 days on market on average. Your median sales price is $515. It's interesting to see how on fire the Wasatch Back has been, and it's even more shielded. Like Utah in general is pretty shielded from our job growth, our population growth, just with natural increase and people moving here is amazing. Like we've been pretty shielded from everything that's been going on nationwide. And then you like put it on the Wasatch Back, and it like magnifies it and makes it even better.
And I think that's because of the scarcity.
Yeah.
It's so hard for a developer or anybody else to get a new project, and expensive.
Yeah.
And then the scarcity, and I think our biggest driver for the Wasatch Back is the Wasatch Front. The pressure up here
That's
and the
true.
people moving in up here,
Yeah.
and the amount of congestion that's happening is pushing the want even harder out back.
There's a lot of people. I've had I've had a number of clients move from the Wasatch Front to the Wasatch Back just for the air quality, because they're like, I can't take the bad air quality.
Yep.
Just that alone is like pushing people, to the backside. So it's, and I think people want to be closer to the mountains. They want to get out and play more. Ski resorts, everything like that is fueling it. People are all around just wanting to get outside more, it seems like, which is cool in the state of social media and AI and all this stuff. People really are craving the outdoors, which is really cool to see.
I think we touched on that like statistic that we have the highest birth rate, the lowest death rate.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of ties to it, just like that people do enjoy clean things, clean
Yeah.
air, being in the mountain, being
Healthy.
active. And I think that goes to show.
Yeah. All right, we're going to just touch on land a little bit. So average days on market for a lot in Ogden Valley, 66 days on market. There were 83 that sold, 83 lots that sold. Their median sales price was $345. A few commercial. There were a number of recreational sales, 15 recreational lots sold for a median of $100,000 on their median sales price. However, in 2025, there were 218 lots that were listed, and only 45% of them sold. And the median asking price was $400,000. So they're selling for $50,000 less on average. And in the valley, you'll get lots anywhere from 300,000. You don't really see them a whole lot less than that very often into the twos, unless they're recreational, upwards to $1 million plus for some of those nicer estate lots.
What's interesting comparing Morgan to the Ogden Valley in as far as supply, Ogden Valley sold more lots, residential building lots, in 2025 than the past 6-7 years combined in Morgan.
That's
that
crazy.
hit the market.
Wow.
That's bizarre. So like new starts is way stronger in Ogden Valley
Correct.
than Morgan County.
Correct.
Huh. That's interesting.
Is that land like even available in Morgan County though? Like is
That's the difference. Ogden
Yeah.
Valley has more development opportunities.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Morgan's had some pretty big ones, but it's all been like centrally focused right in Mountain Green area.
Mountain Green and then Morgan City as
Yeah.
well. But even then, when
But not so much one-off developers. It's like you have like Richmond American that's doing stuff in Morgan, or CW.
actually you have more one-off developers or smaller developers in Morgan.
Do you?
As of in the last couple of years, you had your Pheasant Run and I don't even know what they call it, but Center Points is what we call it.
Yeah. The RUP.
The RUP, and that's all. Every one of those developments are touching. It's just one big development that just
Yeah.
keeps opening phases, and they're about to touch. Like they're about done, and then the only other big builders are Richmond.
Yeah. Well, I think it's still it's strong in the valley
Yeah.
too. The valley seems like does Morgan have a lot of issues with water and on developments and stuff like that?
Yes and no. Obviously, there's always fights over water. More wars have been fought over water, water and women than anything else. But yeah, there's 3 or 4 big systems in Morgan, and then other than that, everybody's on a well.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a share,
Yeah.
you can't. And a lot of times before you, as part of your due diligence in some of these lots, is Weaver Basin even going to allow you to lease a share?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll tell you like, hey, sorry, there's too many wells in your area. I've had one lot. They just told them, as of right now, unless you have a water share from the Rockport Echo water that you can transfer to Weaver Basin, they won't lease you a share because there's too many existing wells around.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
water is, we haven't had any moratoriums and stuff like that, but a lot of ours aren't big systems.
Well, speaking of water, what were those stats that you had for the snowfall totals this year? Because it's like, I guess if you had a crystal ball, this is something you should probably be aware of if you're looking at building and trying to pull permits going into this next year. Is water.
Water may be a big issue with our current record-breaking year of lack of snow. So the record previously was held from 1933 to 1934, that winter. And now 2025-26 winter has surpassed that. The total snowfall was 14.3 inches in 1933. This year we are at 0.1.
Really?
Yeah. So we are like winning by a landslide on that record, which is not a good thing. So
And the depressing thing is you look at the 10-day forecast.
Me and
it's
Frank
like
looked at it this
50s.
morning. Yep.
Is there nothing
There's
still?
nothing.
Because I'm like, man, we're into February now, and there's nothing.
Well,
And 51 degrees coming up in
Yep.
like a week from now.
a few years back, it was about this time we got hit. We had no snow, and then we got 4 feet
Yeah.
in the valleys. But yeah, Frank and I were looking at it this morning going, man, I just want some snow. I just want either be winter or don't be winter. Like,
I know.
pick a
I'm
side.
getting spring fever already.
Yeah.
And
Or
it's
at least
man.
be cold enough that I can go ice fishing.
Yeah, you can't ice
lake's
fish.
only barely glassing over.
Yeah.
Like there's still lots of open water at Pineview.
yeah.
So
And that's usually
Oh,
one of the closest lakes that you can get on
Yeah.
is Pineview because it's colder usually.
Well, my in-laws, we went over for dinner on Sunday, and they had set up like a little ice rink out there. Kids went out there and played, and it was like 2 inches thick of ice, and it broke, and then they were in water. And it's crazy. Middle of January, end of January, and things aren't even freezing enough for ice skating.
Frank.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
there's still birds waiting on the water.
So let's talk about interest rates and kind of what we're looking forward as we go into this new year. What are we seeing rates at right now for mortgages?
You know, they dipped down to high fives.
Yeah.
And then jumped right back up to 6 to just over 6. And I think we're going to see that a lot. We're gonna tease into that high fives.
Yeah.
And then settle there for a little bit. But
people really like it. Like when it dipped into the fives,
it was like 2
all
weeks
over there.
of madness.
Yeah. Applications went way up. It was interesting because that's the lowest rates have been since the fall of 22.
Yep. Which
is crazy. That's impressive. So
just goes to show, be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. I think it is picking up already. It seems like, and I've talked to a few people, but if you're on Zillow or these platforms, you'll start to notice a lot more pending dots on the map. If you're looking, things are starting to move. We had a listing that we've been pushing for a while, for a year, and just put it back under contract. You've had some of those where it's like just out of nowhere, like people start coming out of the woodwork and they're interested and ready to go. So that's really good. I think we're going to have a strong season. What do you think the weather is going to do with buyers' minds as far as coming out and wanting to move?
You want to hear my crusty crystal ball?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good in the sense of we're not going to get a feeding frenzy in that 1st of March. I think we're starting now and we're going to have a nice, calm, consistent spring. And I don't think it's just going to be nuts, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's better for everybody on all sides. Some people can list right now and it's not as bad as, okay, we have to hurry and get on in March, but then your next door neighbor, he listed for $1,000 less than you. And especially in the townhome sector, you have these townhomes that are identical, 40, 50 of them. And you have this guy that, okay, I want to catch a spring rush, and he lists it $400, and then the guy next door to him lists it $395, identical.
Yeah.
Well, then I think for a seller, the springtime rush is good and bad because there's a lot of buyers, but you're competing.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to have less of that and just a consistent, strong spring.
Yeah, I think it'll be strong. It's already pulling off pretty strong already. I have been going nonstop. Saturdays, it's been busy. Me and Hunter, the past Saturday, we had 20 showings between 5 different buyers. Wow. And we're not normally super buyer heavy, but it's like the buyers are coming out.
Buyers are coming out of the woodwork.
Yep.
So
sellers, get ready. Be ready to go. Even if you don't list, have your stuff ready to go. So when somebody says, hey, there's a bunch of buyers wanting to look at your house, you can show stuff off market.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So even if you're not listed and letting people actively come to your house, talk to your agents, get stuff ready to go. If you're looking to buy, already like Whitney, what we talked about, be ready.
Well,
talk to your lenders.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because forever we've had this this rule with agents that if you sign a listing agreement, you can't publicly market it at all, really. Like you can't send out messages or put a sign up. The second you do, you got to put a sign up in the yard. But now there's a delayed marketing status that we can do that allows us to, you can essentially market it off market and it's legal. You can do that now. Yep. So for those that are looking for more discreet, like, hey, I don't want everybody to know that I'm for sale, just a select few, we can legally do that now, which is pretty sweet. So I think now's the time. We're coming into February. If you're looking at trying to make a move this year, it doesn't start, or you can never start too early to make a plan and get things figured out, because what we see time and time again, somebody figures out like the end point and then they're like scrambling trying to figure out the sale of their house or like just getting ready. So if it's in the back of your mind, start getting that ball rolling now, because you'll just be that much further ahead when the opportunity does present itself that you can just jump on it and go.
And we're going to have another podcast coming up, the buy-sell combos, the sell-buy combos, all that. So pay attention. Ask your agents about that too. Yeah. Ask us, not your agents.
Yeah.
Ask us. If we're not your agents,
we'll be your agents.
Yeah. Stop it.
We got you.
All right. Anything else you guys want to throw in there before we wrap up?
I think we pretty well muddied the waters the best we could on that.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for watching and have a great 2026.
Love you. Bye.